Okay, and so assuming I was going to get this comment from Hebrews 8:13, happy to engage on it. This is a misinterpretation of that word obsolete in Hebrew because a lot of these translations are not actually providing a good Greek verb tense there. But it's also two other things. It's ignoring the complete context. So if you use Hebrews 8:13, you've got to read the whole chapter of Hebrews 8 to understand what the author of Hebrews is referring to. And you also have to understand that Hebrews 8:13 cannot in any way contradict other verses in the New Testament. If you believe that the old is done away with, rendered obsolete, then that completely contradicts what Jesus said about the old covenant, the Torah himself. He says, I did not come to abolish it. We know that Paul kept Torah because when in video number 3 that I did, which you need to watch that, in Acts, he's rebuked because they thought that he was teaching them to abolish Torah and not to keep Torah. And so he abided by the regulations and the requirements that Torah put on him as a Jew, right? As a follower of Torah, he did it even though he was in Yeshua. He could have said, I'm under the new covenant, bro. I don't have to do all that. But he didn't say that. He knew he still had to follow Torah. Hebrews 8 talks about, it has this long prophecy from Jeremiah 31, and it says, the days are coming when I will establish over the house of Israel and the house of Judah a new covenant, right? And it goes on, it won't be like the old covenant, or it won't be like the covenant which I made with their fathers on the day that I took them by the hand and led them forth out of Egypt. So the Sinaitic covenant, all right, the covenant that happened there with specific requirements and everything, right? Every covenant builds upon the former covenant. At the end, in verse 10 of chapter 8 of Hebrews, this is, for this is the covenant I will make with the house of Israel after those days, says Adonai, I will put my Torah in their minds and write it on their hearts. I will be their God and they will be my people. And we would think that's a new covenant. But listen to the next verse. None of them will teach his fellow citizen or his brother, saying, know the Lord, for all will know me. Well, we're not there yet. All do not know him, right? So this scripture has not yet come to pass, which means Hebrews 8:13 is not referring to now, it's not referring to the new covenant. It is, if you understand the verb tenses in that verse, you'll understand what it's talking about. Hebrews 8:13, it says, by using the term new, he has made the first covenant old, right? And something being made old, something in the process of aging, is on its way to vanishing altogether. So you have to understand that it is not obsolete, not yet. All right, the Torah is still intact, and we're expected to obey and abide by the Torah. Jesus rebuked people repeatedly for their lawlessness. What is lawlessness? It's not keeping the law, not keeping the Torah. So I love debate, love going back and forth, and perfectly happy to engage with scriptures with you to see, because again, for a long time, I was under the impression that I didn't have to do it at all, and the Torah is obsolete. Therefore, I can eat as much bacon as I want. And as I read scripture and as I study it and get into the actual words that are used, Hebrew and Greek, and the context with which those phrases in scriptures appear, the more I discover that's just not accurate. All right. But anyway, like I said, I knew more people would disagree with me than agree with me, and that's perfectly fine. God bless. Have a great day.